Amir Khan's belief that Canelo Alvarez was on drugs when the Mexican knocked him out has deepened after Alvarez was given a slap on the wrist for failing 2 dope tests. Khan, who makes his comeback against Canadian Phil Lo-Greco on Saturday, a full 2 years after he suffered that brutal defeat, joined the outrage as Alvarez was handed a mere 6-month suspension for twice testing positive for the prohibited stamina enhancer clenbuterol. Khan said, "Once a drugs cheat, always a drugs cheat. Canelo will be remembered forever as a drugs cheat. Not for his boxing. This 6-month span is nothing. It will send a message to up-and-coming young fighters that you can do drugs and so what? That if Canelo do it then everyone can. It sets the wrong example. It amounts to 1 fight ban, and while he's taking a break he's had a little operation on his knee which will help him come back stronger. I've been in this for more than 10 years and never even thought about taking anything. Drugs cheats in boxing should be banned for life. There is no respect for the sport. In the American justice system plea bargains are commonplace and it is assumed that a deal has been done with the Nevada State Athletic Commission to limit the punishment to Alvarez. At his head-to-head meeting with Phil Lo-Greco, the lightly regarded Canadian he must defeat in Liverpool's Echo Arena to resurrect his career, Khan added, "Canelo had bulked up so big before our fight in which he landed that huge punch on me that I wondered if something was up." There were calls throughout boxing for Alvarez to be suspended for anything from 2 years to life, even though he claimed he had fallen victim to eating contaminated meat in Mexico. The truncated and retrospective ban enables Canelo to recycle in September the Mega Millions rematch with world middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin, from which he withdrew prior to this week's hearing in Las Vegas. Khan, as he bids to rejoin the ranks of elite prize fighters, knows that after such a long layoff, "I must prove to the world that I still have all it takes to a champion and, at 31, I have more big fights left in me." He reports himself stronger, quicker and sharper than ever after being obliged to switch to the camp of veteran trainer Joe Goosen when his preceding American guru Virgil Hunter went down with a mystery illness. Meanwhile, the outcry against Canelo's token punishment rolls on. The Nevada Commission insists they have followed to the letter their rules for a first offender who cooperates with their investigation. But he only gave evidence to the tribunal by telephone from Mexico. Doubts as to whether Alvarez has signed up to all year rather just in-camp drugs testing were already fueling suspicions of favoritism for their Las Vegas cash cow, be he contaminated accidentally or otherwise. All this has followed the judging of the first Canelo GGG fight in Vegas as a draw, which constituted a scandalous robbery of Golovkin, who clearly won in most eyes, mine included. One consideration may be that a longer ban would also have inadvertently punished Golovkin, who was deprived of a hurricane night when the rematch was called off. Golovkin, who is taking an interim bout in Los Angeles on May 5 to keep active, agrees to rescheduling for Mexican Independence Weekend in Vegas, even though he too is accusing Canelo of deliberate drugs abuse. Khan is looking to future super fights of his own, including a world title rematch with Danny Garcia and a domestic blockbuster with Kell Brook. But first he must see off Lo-Greco, who believes he can take advantage of Khan's ring rust after 2 years out. Lo-Greco had angered Khan with lewd comments about his past marital problems but was more courteous at their final head-to-head conference. Khan said, "I'm pleased he's been a bit respectful this time, but I will beat him." Lo-Greco made a confused prediction of his own, saying, "I am willing to get knocked out so that I can knock him out. Just to let you know, Mr. Lo-Greco, if Khan knocks you out first, that will be the end of the argument." Khan v Lo-Greco will be televised live this Saturday night on Sky Sports.